Hey, take a look around you. Every single day, so many things happen in your life. You wake up, you scroll, you walk past strangers, you make decisions. Most of it happens on autopilot. You think it's normal, or you don't even think about it. But have you ever paused to look at the invisible rules running underneath all of it? Specifically, this thing we call morality. What exactly is it? And does it actually have a standard? Or are we all just playing a massive game of social pretend? Now look, before we dive into this, let me get one thing straight. I'm not saying this because I think I'm some enlightened guru sitting on a mountain of absolute truth. I struggle with this just as much as anyone else. And maybe some of you will hear what I'm about to say and think, man, this guy is heartless. But I'm not heartless. I'm just trying to be honest. Let's just get into the point, shall we? Imagine a street, just an ordinary, busy sidewalk in any major city. A man suddenly collapses. He's lying there on the cold concrete. Dozens of people walk right past him. Some glance down, some step over him, but nobody stops. Now, imagine someone is standing across the street with a phone. They film it, put a sad music track over it, and post it online. Everyone in the comments feels a rush of righteous anger. They feel good typing those words. But let's look at the actual reality of that situation for a second. Legally, in most places, none of those passers-by broke a single law. There is no legal obligation to help a stranger. None of them are doctors on duty. But socially, we call them monsters. Why? Because we confuse kindness with morality. Walking past someone might mean you lacked kindness in that split second, or maybe you were late for a job interview that feeds your kids, or maybe you were just terrified of getting involved in something dangerous. Yet, the people typing those comments from the safety of their beds feel morally superior. But ask yourself, did any of them actually help? Or did they just enjoy the cheap, easy feeling of standing on a pedestal, looking down? Let's pull back and look at where this word actually comes from, because it tells us a lot. Ethics, morality. We treat these terms like they are ancient, universal laws carved into stone. But they aren't. The word ethics comes from the ancient Greek ethos. But ethos didn't mean goodness or holiness. It literally just meant habit, custom, the character you build through repeated daily actions. When Aristotle wrote about it, he wasn't handing down commandments. He was just observing how people in a community behaved to keep things running smoothly. Later, the Roman philosopher Cicero translated this into Latin as moralis, from mores, which literally means the manners and customs of a society. Do you see the catch? From the very beginning, morality wasn't a fixed truth handed down from a higher power. It was just a set of social habits. What is considered moral in one culture, in one century, is considered evil in another. So if morality is something we humans built to keep ourselves from tearing each other apart, who gets to decide that their version of the rules is the correct one? Let's try a second scenario, one that's much closer to home. Imagine you are online. Someone you know posts a picture. It's clear to everyone, including you, that they are going through a massive self-destructive phase. They are destroying their health, their relationships, or their career. A few people, genuinely caring, try to gently point it out. They comment, "Your health looks like it's really struggling. I think you should change your habits to keep your health balanced." Someone else, under a post about a falling out with a close friend, "I think the way you handled it might have hurt them more than you realize. It might be worth reaching out." The crowd immediately attacks the honest voice. They label them as toxic or haters. The crowd wins. The person who is hurting gets a quick dose of validation, feels protected, and continues their downward spiral. Look, this is what I mean when I say we need to be honest. We now live in a culture where protecting someone's immediate comfort is considered more moral than telling them the truth they actually need to hear to save themselves. We call it compassion, but it isn't. It's just collective cowardice dressed up as kindness. We would rather let someone ruin their life in peace than risk being called mean for speaking up. Immanuel Kant believed in absolute rules. He called it the categorical imperative. To him, lying is always wrong. Even if a killer is at your door asking where your friend is hiding, Kant says you cannot lie. The rule is the rule, no matter the consequence. Stuart Mill argued the exact opposite. He believed in utilitarianism. Morality is whatever produces the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. The outcome is everything. If telling a lie saves a life, then lying is the moral thing to do. And then Friedrich Nietzsche came along and threw the whole table out the window. He argued that morality is just a weapon. He called it slave morality, a tool developed by the weak to guilt trip and control the strong, to make meekness look like a virtue and power look like a sin. 3 brilliant minds, 3 completely different answers. And the scary part is, all 3 of them make sense depending on how you look at it. There is no Supreme Court of Ethics scoring your life. There is just you, your choices, and the real-world weight of their consequences. Because there is no fixed standard, it creates a dangerous opportunity. It allows the rise of a character we see everywhere now, the moral performer. This is the person who doesn't actually care about being good. They just care about looking good. They have learned the vocabulary of modern ethics, and they use it as social currency. They don't have difficult conversations. They just agree with the crowd because it's safe. They use moral language not to heal, but to attack. They call themselves empaths while tearing people down in comment sections. They talk about boundaries when they really just want to avoid accountability. And the danger isn't just that they are hypocrites. The danger is that if you stay in this environment long enough, you start doing it too. You slowly stop asking yourself, is this the right thing to do? And start asking, how will this look to the crowd? Your actual moral compass gets replaced by social camouflage. So where does that leave us at the end of the day? If morality shifts with the culture, if it breaks down when things get complicated, and if most of what we do is just trying to stay inside the safe circle of the crowd, then is it possible that most of what we call moral judgment is just social pressure with better branding? Maybe. Maybe not. But you're the one who has to sleep with your decisions at night, not the crowd, not the comment section. That hypothetical man on the sidewalk? The crowd online is still talking about him. They are still typing, still sharing, still feeling incredibly moral for being outraged, but nobody actually went back to help. Make of that what you will. If this left you with a feeling that's a bit hard to shake, good. That's exactly where we need to be. Leave your thoughts below. I'm genuinely curious where you land on this one, if you land on a side at all. Until next time, stay awake.